Okay, welcome to my first YouTube video on heavy metal record collecting, and today I'd like to start by talking a little bit about Slayer. Slayer were one of the first extreme bands that I got into in '88, around about the time that South of Heaven was released. I started off with Iron Maiden, bands like that, Priest, Motorhead, Kiss, but soon that sort of music didn't quite give me enough, and found Metallica and Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, the first sort of wave of thrash bands that came out, the Big Four, and it blew me away. So I've always been a huge fan of thrash metal music, and Slayer's certainly been one of my favourite bands. Unfortunately, many years ago, I actually got rid of all my record collection. All my Slayer vinyl went. It was all stuff from back then in the '80s. It was all good first pressing stuff. So I'm in the process now of scouring YouTube to try and find it all again and buy stuff. So here I am. Before I get started, just want to say a big thanks to Matt Bass, who was my old pen pal in the early days of death metal in the early '90s. Also to Andrew McIver. Andrew was from Guildford, I think he was. Yeah. Hello Andrew, good to see you, mate. And Matt was from Hastings Way. So incidentally, Matt's got a very good channel. If you look at YouTube, and it's DJ M Bass, he'll go through a lot of his vinyl collection. He's still got a lot of his thrash death metal vinyl stuff. So he's got a number of videos there. So he's well worth a look. So those two guys, hi. I'm on YouTube now, so hopefully there's going to be more videos from me. Enough of the chat, let's look at some cool vinyl. Now I've just got this one today. It's a bootleg album. It's called Boys Keep Swinging, very charming cover. It's actually a live album from the Rain in Pain tour in 1987, recorded in Berlin and also in Belgium at the Heavy Sound Festival. It's a single vinyl bootleg, but I've just received that this morning, so I wanted to show you all what it looks like, and that's the rear. Quite hard to come by. I think this one only cost me about £12, so I was quite pleased to receive that, because normally bootlegs can be quite pricey, so I was happy to receive that. Second thing I'd like to show you today is, now I did have all these on original vinyl. This is a Back in Black, or Back on Black, who are based in Oxfordshire, in Wallingford. This is their reissue of Slayer's debut, Show No Mercy. It's a gatefold, unlike the original release. It had all the photos and the lyrics on the inner sleeve on the original release. Just want to show you the vinyl on this. It's quite an attractive one. It's like a grey marbled vinyl. So I was happy to own that. It's got a very good sound to it. It's 180 gram vinyl. So it's pretty good quality. The only problem with it, I thought, you can't really pick it up on the camera, but the actual printing of the sleeve, front and back, is fairly dark. Compared to the original release, and doesn't look quite as good, but happy to receive that. A couple more bootleg albums now. This is Slaying Stockholm, recorded in 2006, and also in Belgium a few of the tracks in 1996. This is a good album. £15 this cost me, and it's on a very sort of lurid pink vinyl cover. Pink vinyl. Plays well, the sound's pretty good on this one as well. It's one of the more recent bootlegs. If you look on some of the Slayer fan sites, like slayerbootleg.com I believe, and Slayerized, which is an excellent Slayer fan resource, you'll find this on there. But it's not too hard to come by, this one. It's relatively new. Looking at a double set now, this is Songbook of the Antichrist. This is part one, it's a double bootleg, and this is part two. It's essentially an audio rip of the Live Intrusion DVD VHS, which was released in 96, 97 I think. It's from the Divine Intervention tour. That's the back of part one. Kerry King on the front. This is the Tom Araya part two. And a very, very good bootleg, as you'd expect with an audio feed from an official DVD. Now, God Hates Us All, scarily released originally on September the 11th, 2001. This is really hard to find on vinyl. There was only 1,000 ever pressed, and this is obviously one of them. Gatefold. This one's in fairly good condition, this one. I got this 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's a red vinyl release. Quite similar in terms of the colouring to the Slaying Stockholm bootleg I just showed you. but it's one of my favourite Slayer records. That it's incredibly aggressive. It may be slightly long. It's 13 songs, so it may be a song or two too much in places, but it's an excellent album. Only 1,000 pressed, and I'm proud to own it. Christ Illusion, the first record with Dave Lombardo back. Excellent record. It's the gatefold edition. Once again, Slayer do like their red vinyl, and the one thing I particularly like about this one is it has the old school Haunting the Chapel logo, as you can see there, which in my opinion is Slayer's best logo. It's a good album, this one. It's not quite as good as the newest one, World Painted Blood, but it's a very, very good LP. It's an excellent one to have in your collection. This one is frequently found on eBay still. You can still pick this one up. There is a US pressing of this, which actually comes with the hand graphic coming out of the soil. I've yet to pick that one up, but I've got a birthday soon, so you never know. It comes with a lyric insert with a photograph of the band on the back too. Excellent record. This is quite hard to find. This is Live Undead picture disc, original one on Enigma Records, which was like an offshoot of Metal Blade. There you go, that's the front of it there, original, everything's original about this. I was a bit concerned when it arrived about a month ago, because it did look a bit raggedy, but it actually plays fantastically well. It's got a die-cut sleeve for the picture disc to fit in, tracks are on the back as well. They did bring out Live Undead in a variety of formats, and they still do reissue it greatly these days. That could set you back a lot of money. On eBay there's one going for about £40. Buy it now. It is quite scarce, but I did find one today, starting bid of 12 quid, so if you get in early you could be walking away with that like I did. Now it was reissued by Metal Blade, because Metal Blade still own the licences for the first few Slayer albums up until Rain in Blood, and they've done very many different pressings of them. This is the Live Undead Blood Splatter vinyl. There you go, it's pretty cool, both sides. It's gatefold. It's actually got, I believe, actually it's not this one here, which is the blue vinyl, includes the Haunting the Chapel EP. This is a limited edition on blue vinyl, 180 gram, only 500 in the world. Mine's number 271. It's a lovely vinyl, this one. It's a blue vinyl, slight marbling to this one as well. It's got the logo there, and it's got the actual graphic there. It's a fantastic record, and it's definitely one for your collection. The back of it's got the sort of photo which tends to be on all the other releases. And of course, not only did it come in like a black border, the original pressing for the European market came in a white border. So there's lots of variations on Slayer albums, but that's part of the fun of collecting. Trying to find all the different pressings and variations. Last few, Hell Awaits. Now do you know, is this first pressing or second pressing? The answer is it's a second pressing. The reason being is that the first pressing always had the white Slayer logo sticker on the front, as did the next album, Seasons, in the Abyss, that had the same logo on there. I think the reason why they did that was because if you just look at that in a record store, it's got no band name on it and nobody knew who it was. So the first pressing always came with the sticker. This is a second pressing. One of the second reasons you can know it's a second pressing, there's no lyric insert sheet, it's just a standard black bag. The original came with an old Def Jam insert with all the words on. So it's a pretty good sounding album though, this one. It was the first new Slayer album I bought when I got into them, obviously being released in '88. But this one's great. This is Hell Awaits. This is an original Dutch copy. It's a bit of the artwork there on the front and on the rear. It's got the original inner sleeve on it as well, with the pictures and lyrics. This one's in pretty good condition. It does pop a little bit, but I was pleased to own that. I picked that up for about £7 at a shop called Sounds of Froome. I live in Midsummer Norton near Bath, and there's a very good record store. If you're ever in the area, Froome area, Sounds of Froome. They've got a lot of vinyl. They get a lot of new stuff there, a lot of the older second-hand stuff as well, so it's well worth a visit. I spend a lot of my time there. Another bootleg, just two more to go. This is Satan's Little Helper, April the 27th, 1987, live recorded in Berlin. It's a single LP. Cost me about £20–25, I think, this one, and it's more well known for its picture of George Bush on there on side B, and side A, nice shot of Kerry King. It's another bootleg which was issued around the time Slaying Stockholm, Songbook of the Antichrist. Last but not least, my best album so far. There's 6,500 of these in the world. This is number 5020. This is Decade of Aggression, the live album from '91. It's an original copy, including the booklet, which has all sorts of fantastic photographs and things like that. This is the reason to collect vinyl. I love vinyl which has booklets in it. I love vinyl which has extra things like posters. It all started really with bands like Kiss. You used to buy an album of theirs, it came with a poster or a pop-out gun. Iron Maiden comes with a merchandise sheet. Vinyl is the format for more bang for buck, so it's the format for me. So that so far wraps up my Slayer collection. It's constantly growing, there's stuff coming each day. So there will be more videos, but there will be more videos too on different bands. There's going to be a lot of videos coming up soon on death metal and extreme metal in general, vinyl, and I've got a few cassettes I found in my loft the other day, about 14 of them, and I'll show you those as well in more detail. So I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. There's going to be more metal vinyl coming directly to you ASAP. Leave your comments below, and feel free to leave whatever comments you say about quality. If you think anything needs changing with the videos, let me know. I can take criticism, but I do hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks a lot.